Greetings. Firstly, I want to say thank you to the judges, the organizers of this event, and especially the opposition side for giving me this opportunity to represent the government in support of the opinion that scholarships should only be granted on the basis of financial necessity. We'll be first taking a look at what the scholarship is. What is the general definition of a scholarship, and what are the different types of scholarships there are. And then we're going to discuss the situation here in Indonesia, especially in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, and finally answer why we are in support of this motion. So, what are scholarships? The general definition of a scholarship is that they are an award of financial aid for a student to further their education at many different types of level of education or schools or colleges. Now, usually scholarships they are awarded based upon various criteria such as academic merit, diversity and inclusion, athletic skill, and financial need among others. And some combination of these criteria also work for a scholarship. These criteria usually reflect the values and goals of the donor or founder of the scholarship. And it is known that there are two general classifications of scholarship. There are two general types, which are the merit-based ones and also the need-based ones. The merit-based ones, they are the scholarships where the student's academic performance is taken into account rather than their financial situation. Whereas the other type of scholarship, which is the need-based, does the opposite of that. Now, these two types of scholarships are also funded differently. The need-based ones or the need-based scholarships, they are funded or issued by the government, while the merit-based ones, they are awarded by colleges or by other third-party private sponsors. Now, I want to put the emphasis on the word usually from the general definition here because in this specific discussion, it is questioned whether scholarships should only be granted to students who are struggling financially. This means that we are going to talk about mainly the one of the types of scholarships, which is the need-based ones. So to put some guidelines of what I'll be discussing in this matter, the scholarships I'll be taking into account, they are the school level scholarships rather than the college one. This is because all colleges and or universities of course also take into account the would-be students academic performance. This is without question, and that is why the college level scholarships they are rendered irrelevant in this discussion. A college wouldn't just give a scholarship to an economically struggling student that didn't do well at his previous schools or previous education. Now, as opposed to a college level scholarship, public schools and education they are a right to every citizen in any country. It is a right. According to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, education is a fundamental human right for everyone. So, what about the situation in Indonesia? I repeat once again that need based financial aid are funded by the government. Now, according to the Human Rights Measurement Initiative, the Indonesian government is only doing about 81.5% of what is possible at its income level currently for primary school enrollment and secondary school. Now, this data reveals that Indonesia could be making better use of its income, especially for its youth who are struggling financially to even get basic education. Indonesia's youth is in dire need of assistance. Now, based on a March 2021 survey, so this is very recent, this survey by UNICEF of how Indonesian families are coping with the COVID-19 pandemic, almost 3/4 of Indonesian households or Indonesian families, it is about 74.3%, said that they were earning less than in January of 2020, which is around last year. Families with children and those in living urban areas also saw an even greater loss of income. Furthermore, 12.6% of surveyed families, they are struggling to feed their families. They are lacking the financial resources to even buy just enough food to feed their family. The poor and a growing number of middle income earners who have become vulnerable due to the economic downturn because of the pandemic will need continued social assistance. And education, I repeat once again, for their children is no less important. It is an absolute human right. Now, what about the academically gifted students who aren't financially struggling? This category of students fall under the merit-based scholarships. Gifted students, by all means, should pursue the highest quality education they can, and we stand by that. And let me remind you that the merit-based scholarships, they are funded by colleges or other third-party private sponsors, not the government. It is absolutely necessary that we prioritize the dire problem in Indonesia's youth struggling to get basic education. I repeat once again, based on the data from the Human Rights Measurement Initiative about the possible income level for education in Indonesia and the dire financial situation in Indonesia's youth currently, especially in the COVID-19 pandemic, we are certain that the absolute best thing to do for the situation currently is to grant school level scholarships only on the basis of financial necessity. We urge the whole nation to do this. The future of this country is on the shoulders of our youth. That is all from me. Thank you.